Hey everybody, day 16 of math. Yeah, we got our new things where we're finished with our Grapes of Math book and started our estimating and talked about different things, and today we're going to try to figure out how many pieces of macaroni. That's about 100. That's about 500. But how many come in a box? Well, if this much is 500, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. I'm going to say about 2,000. And a box of macaroni is usually enough to feed a family of 4 or 5. Because when you cook it, it gets bigger. So that's a good thing to know. 100 Cheerios, 1,000 Cheerios. How many in a whole box? We talked about that the other day, that a quarter of a cup probably has about 100. And you can start guesstimating from there. Might be worth getting out a quarter cup and counting how many Cheerios come out of it. It may not be the exact same number each time, but that would be a good estimate, because the box side tells you how many cups are in there. And if you know how much are in a fourth of a cup, then you can say 4 times that number gives you a cup. And then if there are 10 cups in the box, then it's that times 10. Good ways to estimate with lots of little pieces. And food usually comes in lots of little pieces. Well, we've been talking about how fast things are. Do we usually say how fast a snail is? No, snails move rather slowly, but they still have a speed you can calculate, even though it's not usually a fast speed. A snail is a mollusk. It has a shell on its body. How do snails move? Well, they move very slowly. They travel less than 1 mile per hour. Snails are so slow that we could measure their speed in inches per hour. A school bus travels much faster than a snail. A school bus driver usually drives about 30 miles per hour around, picking everybody up in their streets. Did you ever ride a bus that made many stops to pick up kids? You may feel as if you're traveling at the speed of a snail. So, whose pictures are on the dollar bills? Alexander Hamilton and Benjamin Franklin were not presidents. Hamilton was Secretary of the Treasury in George Washington's government, and Ben Franklin was one of the founders of the United States who helped to write the Constitution. A special ink is made with a secret formula. If you rub the surface of the green side of the bill with a tissue, you'll see some of the ink is rubbed off. That's because the ink never completely dries. And on the dollar bill is George Washington. On the $5 bill is Abraham Lincoln. And President Washington's picture is on the quarter, and President Lincoln's picture is on the penny. Hamilton is on the $10 bill, and Andrew Jackson is on the $20 bill. And General Grant, which is the president that Mommy and Aunt Holly and Aunt Heidi and Aunt Lisa and Uncle Peter's school that they went to. He was the big general for the North when we had our Civil War. One of the other schools in Columbia is named after General Lee, who was the big general in the southern part of the country during the war. The paper used to make our money is a special blend of linen and cotton. It is illegal for anyone to make this kind of paper without special permission from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. The $100,000 bill is used only to make payments between banks. For a while, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing was making $500,000 and $5,000 and $10,000 bills, but since no one used them, they are no longer made. Today, the largest bill in circulation is the $100 bill with Ben Franklin's picture on it. Sometimes people will say it's all about the Benjamins, meaning they do everything for money. Fun fact. It's the law. Federal law states that any picture of American money cannot be printed at actual size. It must be either printed bigger or smaller than it really is. No matter what size the picture is, the bills cannot be reproduced in color, which is why this one is in black and white. That's the rule. If you made $1,000,000 by David M. Schwartz, pictures by Stephen Kellogg. And I've read several of his books. The Day Jimmy's Boa Ate the Laundry, I think, is one of them. But I like his pictures. If you made $1,000,000. Cheerful and Willing Helpers Wanted. The Math by Marvelissimo, the Mathematical Magician. If you made $1,000,000. Congratulations, you've earned a penny. It will buy anything that costs 1 cent. If many things cost 1 penny, you should be able to buy a piece of candy, like a gumball, for a penny. Well done, you've made a nickel. Dust the Duck earned 5 cents. A nickel is the same as 5 pennies. Hooray! Please paint this pot purple and earn 10 cents. You've made a dime. 2 nickels equals a dime. 10 pennies equals a dime. Blow up this boa and earn 25 cents. A quarter is worth 1/4 of a dollar. That's why it's a quarter. Like a quarter cup equals 1/4 of the cup in fractions. Nickels, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 2 dimes, 10, 20, plus a nickel is 25. I could also do 3 nickels and a dime, 10, 15, 20, 25, or 25 pennies. Fix this fountain flow, earn $1. I could earn a dollar bill with George Washington's picture on it. 4 quarters with George Washington's pictures on it. Or 100 pennies with Abraham Lincoln's pictures on it. $1 is the same as 10 dimes, 20 nickels, or 100 pennies. You could use your dollar to buy 100 pieces of penny candy, or 4 25-cent balloons, or 10 stickers for 10 cents each, or 4 rubber balls that cost 25 cents each. $1 today really doesn't buy very much. But when I add them together, I can put them in the bank and save them till later. Or perhaps you'd like to save your dollar. You could put it in the bank in a year from now. It would worth be $1 and a nickel. The bank wants to use your money and it will pay you 5 cents to leave your dollar there for a year. That extra 5 cents is called interest. If you wait 10 years, your dollar would earn 64 cents in interest just from sitting in the bank. And are you interested in earning lots of interest? Well, wait 20 years and $1 will grow to $2.70. Well, it doesn't sound a lot for $1, but in 20 years, if I doubled my money, if I put $1,000 in the bank, at the end of 20 years, I'd have $2,070. $2,700, all right. Delicious. You've baked a cake and earned $5. Wow. You could be paid with 1 $5 bill or 5 $1 bills. They have the same value. Stupendous. You've made $10. How would you like to be paid? 1 $10 bill, 2 $5 bills, or 10 $1 bills? If you prefer coins, you can have a 5-foot stack of pennies. That's 1,000 of them. Or a 15-inch stack of 200 nickels. You can be paid with 100 dimes, which would stack up to just over 5 inches. Or you could receive your $10 as a 3 1/4 inch pile of 40 quarters. How about that? You've spent your $10 on 10 kittens or 1,000 kitty snacks, or you could take your mom to the movies. Maybe you'd rather save your money. If you leave your $10 in the bank for 10 years, it would earn $6.40 in interest, and you would have $16.40. If you leave it there for 50 years, your $10 would grow to $138. But that's a long time to wait. You've worked hard to earn $100. You decide to spend it on a plane ticket to the beach. You can pay with a $100 bill or two $50 bills or five $20 bills or any other combinations of 6 and 3s and 10s and 20s, for instance. Paying with pennies, you'll need 10,000 of them, and that would be like a 50-foot stack, and it would weigh more than you could carry. At least carry easily. You've worked long and hard. You've earned $1,000. Take home our huggable hippo wrapped in ribbon. Only $1,000. Or you can pay with coins or bills. If you don't like the idea of carrying $1,000 around with you, you can put it in the bank and pay for the hippo with a check or a debit card. The check tells your bank to give $1,000 to the person who sold you the hippopotamus. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. Here's how it works. You give the check or your debit card to the person who sold you the hippo, and he gives it to the bank, and the bank sends it to a very busy clearinghouse in the city. And the clearinghouse tells your bank to take $1,000 out of your money and put it in the bank to the person that sold you the hippo. And they give him the $1,000. Maybe you'll use it to raise more hippos. If you use pennies to purchase a $10,000 Ferris wheel, someone might not be happy about it. If you use 10,000 $1 bills, it'd be mighty hard to handle. Magnificent. You've earned $50,000. You've just read about a well-worn, unloved, but perfectly fixable castle for sale. The price is $100,000. The castle costs $100,000, and you only have $50,000. You're short 50, but you could still buy the castle. You could use the money you earned as a down payment and ask the bank to lend you the rest. And then you pay the bank back the money each month, for as long as they say. Then you would pay the bank back, a little at a time, month by month, for many years. But the amount you must pay the bank is more than you borrowed, because the bank charges for lending you the money. The extra money is called interest, just like the interest the bank pays you when they use your money. Now you're using the bank's money, so you must pay interest to the bank. If you have some very expensive plans, you may have to take on a tough job that pays as well. Babysitter, desperately needed for an ogre. That would probably pay pretty well. If you think ogre taming would be an exciting challenge, you can have fun and make a deal of money too. Of course, you may not enjoy taming ogres or building bulky bridges or painting purple pots. Enjoying your work is more important than money, so that you should look for another job or make less expensive plans. Congratulations. You've made $1 million. $1 million. It's a stack of pennies 95 miles high, or enough nickels to fill a school bus, or a whale's weight in quarters. Would you prefer your million in paper money? Even a paper million is a hefty load. $1 million $1 bills will weigh 2,500 pounds, or as much as a car, and stack up to 300 feet. What's the smallest your million would be? $100 bills are the largest made today, and it would take 10,000 of them to pay you for your feat of ogre taming. But a check for $1 million would still easily fit in your pocket. And it's worth the same as the towering stack of pennies or bills, but much easier to carry around. Now you can afford to buy tickets to the moon, or you can purchase some real estate for the endangered rhinoceros. But if you'd rather save your million than spend it, you can put it in the bank, and it would earn interest. The interest in $1 million is about $1,000 a week, or $143 a day, or $6 an hour, or 10 cents a minute, just from sitting in the bank. If you keep your million, you could probably live on the interest without doing any more work for the rest of your life. You might like that, or you might find it's rather dull. Making money means choices. So, what would you do to make $1,000,000? If you made $1,000,000.